It's Madden NFL 22, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the 49ers and the Seahawks, and it's coming up next.
We are just south of Pioneer Square here in the great northwest city of Seattle at newly named Lumen Field, home of the 12s.
These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the San Francisco 49ers.
Brandon Gaudin alongside the one and only Charles Davis. And CD, lots of compelling storylines in a game like this. Let's take a look at some of the numbers for these two offenses.
And I'm glad you brought up the numbers because sometimes it's hard to quantify a team's performance solely by judging the numbers. But I think with these two teams, what you see is a pretty accurate representation of who they are.
The veteran kicker, Robbie Gould, set to get us started. And off we go from Seattle.
Reed going to bring it out of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Seattle's offense ready to go here for the first time. And leading them is the 7-time Pro Bowler in his 10th year now in the NFL, Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills. The ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
Well, they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
On 2nd down, a run with Dallas.
Yeah, this will be a pickup of 4 here, up to their own 20.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Here's Wilson.
That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So for this defense, a tall order had tried to defend against Russell Wilson. Charles, your keys for how they might go about keeping him in check?
Well, before we even get to the keys, let's start with the problems he presents because he feels pressure so well. He's got a great 6th sense, maybe even a 7th and 8th. He knows where the pressure's coming from. He knows how to slide away from it, sometimes run away from it, and then he finds good throwing lanes to deliver downfield. So to me, it's that pressure inside, big, tall guys to make him try.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Nick Bosa. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment. but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
To try again after the sack. Wilson over the middle, and it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Out comes the San Francisco offense as they are led out by their quarterback, the man known as Jimmy G. That's Jimmy Garoppolo.
And Jimmy Garoppolo has shown that he can be a Super Bowl quarterback, but his biggest problem, his ability to stay healthy and remain on the field. When able, he's a capable quarterback prone to winning games both in the regular and postseason.
Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over pursuing, and making a very nice play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Garoppolo looks to throw. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
21. They'll try and run for the first with Sermon. And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Garoppolo. And now Garoppolo lost the football.
All right.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Garoppolo now. Open man is Samuel, complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary. And the Seahawks add a couple of extra DBs going with the dime look here.
Indeed, 6 on the field. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. fielded at the 20. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. Don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set with a 2nd and 1.
14, fight it. Mark 54. Watch the screen. All those special.
Wilson gives to Collins. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
On first down, Wilson. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 36. Now a throw here to his running back. It's a gain of 7, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
3 yards to go on 2nd down, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. Jumbo set. Wilson now on the handoff to Collins, and only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
14, fight it.
They'll try and run forward with Collins. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
They'll pass up a field goal attempt. It would have been a 45-yarder. Now they'll go for it on 4th. Out of the gun, handoff to Dallas. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's at 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
Now a run with Dallas. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now Wilson. That's complete to his running back, Dallas. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. they become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On third down, Wilson. Flush to his right. And smartly going into the slide there, Wilson has enough for the first. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down, and inside the 5-yard line.
Here we go now on first and goal. From the shotgun, this will be Dallas.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown.
DJ Dallas
Taking it in from 4 yards out as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that, and it wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense, ready for their second drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down.
And they'll run with Sermon to begin the drive.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time. We'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. They'll have a look back. Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long?
From the gun, Sermon.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
3 yards the gain there, second down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
From the 41, Wilson drops it underneath for Collins. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and all of a sudden here, it's third down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
'49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for third down. Throwing is Wilson. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
San Francisco's offense returns to the field, and with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. To throw again on second down, Garoppolo. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick.
Here comes Reed.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Second and 10. It's Wilson again. Throw left side complete. That's Collins. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd.
Watch your slant, watch your slant, watch your slant.
Now Wilson. He's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports halftime report. First up, though, a look at the next-gen stats for the Niners in that first half. And I can imagine the halftime discussions are about how can we improve the running game. They have not had success so far, and it's reflected on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they too didn't do a whole lot in terms of rushing efficiency in that first half, as you can tell by the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Set to take over again here on offense, Jimmy G and the 49ers. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
Shoves him away. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Garoppolo on first down. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. So that one a hold, right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And that's dropped underneath to Mitchell.
And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you can tempt to play the field position game.
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. And again, it's Collins. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now it's Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Play action. It's Wilson. Now he's forced out right. And smartly going into the slide there, Wilson has enough for the first. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Good job, good job. Time to go to work. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Oh, they'll try the sweep. It's Lockett with it.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a 1st down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. There's Wilson to throw. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses, because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion forced there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
Buying time to his left. And smartly going into the slide there, Wilson has enough for the 1st. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a 1st. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the 1st with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a 1st down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th. Fights loose, and he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. DJ Dallas, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, and the Seahawks add on to their lead.
A 15-point game now. You make the extra point, and that means on the other side you need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. That's a pretty tall order here in the 4th quarter.
Agreed, because they really needed to come up with a stop there, and even if it was just to hold them to a field goal. Now they need to pull out the lucky horseshoe because they've got to get an onside kick, and we've seen nowadays those are incredibly difficult to come by.
And not to mention they got to get the touchdown and a 2-point conversion first.
That's caught. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on him.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
Taken in at the 3. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The 49ers ready to set up shop again offensively.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Garoppolo's throw taken in by Samuel. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
7 yards there and a first down.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And his throw here is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Garoppolo. Again looking for Samuel, this time the catch made. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Garoppolo able to find Samuel there for a Niners first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should.
And now Garoppolo lost the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands? Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Meanwhile, Garoppolo's throw pulled in by Kittle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. Garoppolo. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it. Unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Now Garoppolo, got to have this one. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over.
They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position.
The Tampa Bay offense set to go again.
And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. Here's a first down run with Collins. Defensively, Jimmy Ward in on the stop.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
On the handoff, it's Dallas.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So the victory here for Seattle, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.